Fala galera, estamos começando mais um episódio da série Divinity Original Sim 2, né? No episódio passado a gente investigou mais um pouco aqui o esgoto, né? Acabou encontrando esse esconderijo aqui, aparentemente onde deve estar, não sei quem, eu acho que é aquela Isbeil, né? Que tava junto com Linderken, né? Os dois são tipo subordinados do rei, Deus Rei, né? E quer acabar com quer acabar com tudo, né? Na verdade, o que dá a entender. Cadê?
A guard rushes in front of you, and before you can flinch, the point of a sharp spear draws a bead of blood from the artery in your neck.
Halt! State your name, now! Oh, for goodness sake, woman, lower your spear. That is no way to greet a guest.
Eu acho que é essa aqui que tá disfarçada, né? A Rainha Justina é a Rainha dos Anões, né?
Isbeil, I've not known you to be so welcoming.
Have I yet to disappoint your highness in matter? Your majesty?
Do as she says. Lower.
Yes. Of course.
Deixa eu salvar logo aqui que eu tô sentindo que vai ter treta.
I'm watching you. Your highness, bloom of Duna, flame of the forge, I present to you the seed of divinity.
Queen Justinia sucks in her cheeks, then offers you her unwavering hand. The woman called Isbeil glares at you with stony face.
You are in the presence of a royalty. Her highness is due proper respect from subject and admirer.
Let's not intimidate our guest further, Isbeil. I am yet too intrigued to give him leave. Why do you...
My queen, the elven specimen before you is a...
The queen wrinkles her face and gives Isbeil a sideways glance. Isbeil's red-brown eyes meet her gaze head-on.
Many have laid claim to Lucian's legacy, including his own inferior spawn. I presume our visitor has more than a vague title to boast of.
I am consort to Her Royal Highness Justinia. It is my business to know who serves the Queen's allies and abets her enemies. Now, let us continue.
Isbeil clears her throat and continues her litany.
The God Woken has proven himself a worthy combatant in the joys arena of the One.
I appreciate the effort in gaining the respect of one's fellow refugees. You have my attention, God Woken, if not my adulation.
Such an excellent question, but a bit premature, don't you think? We adhere to a certain decorum in this court. Goodness, I've met street urchins with more manners. I think you'd have more respect for ceremony. Well, I see no reason to mince words, God Woken. You're here to die.
Isbeil, whatever's gotten into you? Malodorous it may be, but this is still a court, not a gallery.
Your Majesty, the God Woken is no ally, but enemy. He would throw your plans in disarray. You have worked so hard. Arcs must fall to the death fog.
What? Nonsense.
Oh, but you're a clever one, God Woken, aren't you? Fine. You've outed me. But it doesn't matter.
Isbeil?
Shut your royal maw, Justinia. Arcs will fall and your memory writ. They will believe it was your will, your plan, your command.
For a moment, Isbeil appears almost relaxed.
Isbeil?
My queen, forgive me,
Isbeil screams in pain and clutches her head. She bobs and sways, muttering indecipherable...
Beden kifamod un kaegad, rewem eke sifavin et bukamar anafking, gogenim ik sheet.
You blink yourself awake to the cold gaze of 1,000 stones and the hot gaze of the dwarf Isbeil, right hand of the queen.
Oh, good. You're awake. At first I figured I'd just kill you. But then I thought, don't bother thanking me just yet, though. I dare say you'll be begging to die before long. How strong a dose can a God Woken handle? How long does it take for one to succumb? So many questions.
Your lips open, but no words spill forth. You try to lift your head, but it is not...
Don't fight. Oh, but I've been so rude. Oh, it's good to give myself a rest. Those masks can be darned pesky.
Every ounce of energy within you evaporates. You have no more control over your own source than you do of your flaccid body.
Do try to relax. The harder you fight, the harder...
You struggle to move, and you feel your toes wiggle, and your fingers twitch.
Interesting. Now, let's move on to the death fog. Live or die, you've already proven most...
Isbeil turns the valve, but no fog wafts forth. In that moment, you feel your bones and muscles awake.
What's wrong with them? God! Come! You God Woken!
Get out of this death trap.
Cara, ele não morreu. Acho que não, seu caralho.
Tentacles outwards and upwards, the conduits piercing the ground overhead, wending their way towards the city and her people above. Even through the seals of the Great Cistern, you scent the acrid sting of the death fog inside.
Calma.
Do you think Arx is safe in my death? I faced the grave before, you know. Get through the God King. I have eternal life. You've such a soft spot for that woman. Do you really think she didn't know exactly what releasing death fog into Arx would mean? Don't be fooled. I may have planted the seed. My entourage is taking good care of her, I promise. Well, as good as you would expect. If she's missing a few digits. The Master's purpose is his own to speak, not mine. You're good with words, so sincere. Let's pretend I fell for your little persuasion game. I'll tell you the Black Ring's plans on one condition. You release the death fog. You. Oh, you promise, huh? Well, a simple yes would have sufficed. If you fail to do as you say, it won't be my wrath you face, but his. The God King feeds on war, on death, on disease, on the rich source the living once carried within them, knowingly or not. I think the death fog was not just a murder bomb, but a tool. A tool for sowing discord. A tool for pitting the Order against the Dwarven Kingdom. A tool for ridding us of those who would see it.
Isbeil's voice rises, and her fists tighten. You presume she'd have gone red with fury, were she...
I lived for that day, Godwoken. The flesh of every Magister melted like butter in the sun. The Paladin's eyes bugged out in horror as they watched their spouses and children.
The spirit's eyes and mouth narrow. In her silence, the noise of splashing sewer water bounces from the stony walls and into your ears. You have lit Isbeil's fire. She is a bomb, a banshee, and...
You couldn't know! You weren't there! When the portal opened and the death fog poured in, you weren't. Have you ever felt your own saliva sizzle? Have you ever felt your own brain pressing against the inside of your skull? I have felt it. In death, I was given a chance. I made a decision. One that I have never regretted. This is not your judgment to make, but the God King's.
Eita, fugiu. Já consumi a... Não dá pra tirar isso aqui daqui não. Deixa eu dar um tiro. Vou esperar passar. Nossa, não abençoar, mas...
The spirit struggles for breath, a breath that will never come, an eternity. The spirit laughs soundlessly at something unseen. You realize that what you thought was a maniacal...
I've spotted something.
Twisted and torn in her heart and her mind, the spirit emits an unbearable desire for it all to be over.
Certo. E aí? Consigo quebrar isso aqui? Como é que eu vou fazer? Complica.
What's this? I found something that sounds like the Queen.
Show yourself. Isbeil, the traitor! Where is she? I will split her black skull in two! By whose hand? Yours? It should have been my own axe to slice her neck. Take me to her bones. I've a mind to chop them into pieces, the foul witch!
Justinia struggles to control her rage. She closes her eyes. She breathes.
She is dead. And that is that.
Justinia pounds a fist against her palm. One smack, then a second.
You may not believe me, but what I did, I thought I did for the sake of my people. The sinking of the
Power always comes at a great cost.
Sometimes you have to take some lives to...
It was only a matter of time, she said. And I never doubted it. The scouts talked of living weapons nailed to crosses, of blank-faced wizards, an entire force of them. If they had my ear all the while, the Black Ring... I'm sorry. Truly sorry. To think of it. The void closes in then. It's so much more dangerous than even death fog. Death fog we can see and smell. The void is empty, intangible. We don't know it's there until its creatures. She was a scientist of sorts, or so the town criers chanted.
She knew of the ways of nature. She healed the sick and soothed the wounded. I saw it with my own eyes. I brought her close.
It was after Alexander assembled the quorum that Isbeil turned my mind to thoughts of war. Our scouts and spies aided dwarven sorcerers where and when we came to Arx to prepare. She rarely left my side except to tend to her laboratory. I'd no idea what atrocities she'd been committing there.
Chem? Linda Chem? This rot has infected the very soil we tread and the air we breathe. I must not let it reach the kingdom.
Pera aí, mas acho que eu não vou deixar ela aí não. Porque ela tentou liberar a bruma mortal aqui na cidade. Não tô botando fé que ela não vai querer fazer isso de novo.
Lady Chem is known to harbor those in need from foreign lands.
So unless you've no more grievances to air.
Arx's air is clear of death fog, yet you would still...
The Queen will reign.
Vamos ver. Se ilude. Acho que só tem. Vem daqui, vem lá. Aqui não dá pra passar, né? Sai. Por aqui mesmo. Não sei nem o que é isso que eu peguei. São frascos.
Isbeil reached the spirit before you is paper thin, as though there was hardly enough source in it to manifest at all. You used source to heal a sick child. The magisters threw you in jail. Then, in the night, came the dwarves. They marched you blindfolded through the sewers, clapped you in...
Take me away from here, please. She can't keep us here.
A humble builder. When your source powers surfaced, you knew you were in for the joy. But you ended up here, stolen from your cell. They took...
Caralho, galera, é brutal. tem um que escapa.
The shade of a spirit shimmers before you, barely visible. Its source has been sucked nearly dry. A sorcerer, a dissolute dwarf with a big mouth, you were thrown in the slammer. Fort Joy beckoned, but you woke up hooded, being dragged through the sewers to a painful end. You... The faintly shimmering spirit seems little more than a trick of the light. A sorcerer, a dissolute dwarf with a big mouth, you were thrown in the slammer. Fort Joy beckoned, but you woke up hooded, being...
What's this? I found something. Isbeil was planted in the royal court quite some time ago. This conspiracy has been a long time brewing.
Aqui tá bugado, hein? Porra. Câmerazinha. Certo, deixa eu salvar aqui. Vou dar uma olhada aqui na... essa garrafa aqui. Certo. Isso fez o quê? Nada. Recupera um ponto de essência. Acho que aqui eu já olhei tudo, né? Pra sair daqui, como faz? tem a bruma. Aqui. Aqui foi aquele local, né? Só as arminhas foda, né? Heróis. Mesma coisa. Acho que não, né? Dá pra sair por aqui, mas eu quero ver se dá pra eu destruir e não liberar aquela que é a bruma mortal. Salvar aqui, né?
The great machine sits before you. Pipework tentacles outwards and upwards. The conduits piercing the ground overhead, wending their way towards the city and her people above. Even through the seals of the great cistern, you scent the acrid sting of the death fog inside. A faint gossamer of death fog rises from a junction where the release valve meets a pipe. A switch allows redirection to a different pipe, labelled C. The junction currently leads to a pipe labelled ARX. Sparks fly, and metal plates buckle. With a deafening hiss, the valve breaks free of the pipe, and the faint stream of fog spurts and sputters, threatening to flood the room. The death fog stream has become a veritable geyser. The machine is going to blow.
It's time to get out of here, now!
Pouco a pouco tá. Vamos embora. Fechar a porta aqui. Não. Aqui, bonito. Oh. Tá se falando? Tá. Eu fiquei curioso para saber quem era aquele Hermos, né? Será? Hermos não, Erros, né? Deixa eu ver aqui, né? Vamos ver. Aquela rainha ali, por mais que tenha sido convencida, né, persuadida ali, ela não me convenceu, né? No sentido que
The spirit of an older man observes the nearby painter.
That poor boy is wasting his time walking upon well-trodden paths. Did you tell him what you thought of his little picture? Unfortunate, isn't it? He isn't without talent, but he never overcame the fact that he was my son. Of course, my finest work. I drew upon everything I had for that piece, all of my skills, my experience. Why, there's even my own blood and sauce on that canvas. Of course I am. I painted the greatest works of art that Arx has ever seen. The Sacrifice of Lucian. They are part of a private collection now, Lord Kem's. There's a reproduction on display at the...
The red-splattered young man paces the square once again, in a state of reverie.
Too loud. What do you think the paladins would do to us if they heard you going wrong like that?
Arx is still a free city, last time I checked.
There's bodies in the streets. This place isn't free, not anymore.
I serve all who seek aid, sir.
I heard that the paladins killed unarmed majesties. Didn't even let them surrender.
Too loud. What do you think the paladins would do to us if they heard you going wrong like that?
Arx is still a free city, last time I checked.
There's bodies in the streets. This place isn't free, not anymore.
I heard that the paladins killed unarmed majesties.
I welcome newcomers and neighbours alike. We shall tread. We shall talk.
certo, eu só não sei onde é que foi parar aquele outro carinha, né?
I just turned away to refill my goblet, looked back and he was gone. Can't think of anywhere he'd rather be than here by my side. Perhaps he's at his house near the barracks. Maybe he went there to fetch something to...
She looks around her, seeming completely lost. She stares at you in horror. You think you see...
What? No, no, that's not true. That's impossible.
Her eye twitches and her mouth moves silently, but aggressively. It almost looks as if she's having... When she looks up at you again, the pink tint has cleared...
How could he? I've got to find my father. I must warn him. He trusted a stranger. Oh, I bet his pig knew about my husband before I did.
She slumps in her seat, looking even more miserable and dejected than ever.
And what would it matter now? If he's not here, he might have gone back. Should have known something was up. He never brought me there.
She nods sadly. Get...
Certo. Casa de Dorian Gal. Vamos lá, né? Pra cá. Tem um bolo.
Time to play.
What is happening out here? Haven't we seen enough tragedy today?
He considers the wreckage surrounding the ex-cake.
That cake, it came from the doctor with a letter of congratulation. It was truly a magnificent, void-woken, sabotage, bad cake. You'd think someone had it in for our little lady. Few have seen his face, and no one knows his name. He corresponds only by messenger. He'll open your belly and fill it with jelly. The doctor is in, the doctor is in. He'll rip off your toes and shove them up your nose. The doctor is in, the doctor is in. Heard a kid singing that the other day. Her mother heard it too and beat the poor... That was funny, I have to admit. Gotta take your entertainment where you can when you're... There is little to tell. He's just the doctor. He speaks to few, and few wish to speak of him unless they're desperate. It's easiest if I show you.
He shakes his head and whistles as he identifies the doctor's home.
If there was ever a house that was haunted, well, that's the one. They say almost no one gets in, and those who do, never the shadowed house on the eastern cliff. Can't say I blame you. I don't want to appear disloyal, but as dwarven weddings go, this one had a...
Bouquet's mine. Get in my way and you'll get an elbow in the eye.
Certo.
Damage to the fight. It'll fix it just fine.
Clear off. Need to keep... Ain't no getaway happening here. And if there is, good. Now, ain't no one...
Something special, something with a hint of the forbidden, something with a powerful taste.
With a glint in her eye, she...
You speak of my brand new recipe.
A casa dele é onde aqui? Casa de Doringal, vamos atrás dele.
Nothing as fragrant as an open sewer, hey?
This place stinks. What's this? I found something.
Achou o que, meu filhão? bocado de coisa. Garrafa de poção vazia. Ouro gigante. Pinças.
I've spotted something. I've spotted something.
Salvar aqui.
Explosives. And we're locked in with them. No one strike a light.
Ah, ainda tem outra aqui. Vixe, são 5. 3, 4, 5.
It had to be the lower one. Dorian's a dwarf after all.
Puta que pariu. Tá, vamos aqui. Metal bonito ali.
Again? I should hate to spoil your fun, but this will not be...
The dwarf grins as he lifts a flap of cloth to reveal a string of grenades.
caralho. Pera aí. 5 de destreza, 2 de constituição, 3 de astúcia, caça. É isso mesmo. Um apenas, só que... Caralho. Apenas só que... Como é o nome? E não tem slot, né? Mas... Deixa eu aproveitar, já vou evoluir ele aqui, né? Não tô quase... Não esperar evoluir, né? Certo, mas aí... Eu matei ele... Sim, tem que falar lá com o velhinho, né? Coisa aqui? Acho que não, né? Pegou tudo, já. Simbora então. Deixa eu ir aqui na praça. Aí vamos falar com o velhinho, cadê? Aqui.
What do you think the paladins would do to us if they heard you go wrong like that?
Velhinho.
Is it done? Ah, my darling Lulabelle. Isn't she a beautiful creature? A ray of light during dark times, when even a marriage ceremony can get cut short by tragedy. Awful, just awful. I spent a fortune on the decor alone. The Void Woken have made quite a mess of the place. Attack toys, you say? Any other day I wouldn't believe you. Today, nothing can surprise me. Looks like I'll need to have a word with the doctor right after you've gone. Which should be any moment now. Well, yes, of course. I'm not unsympathetic, you know. But I don't have time for teary eyes and sniffles.
Ross taps his foot impatiently and steals a glance at his half-packed boxes.
Really? This is amazing news. But what of the Queen? What's been going on? Is she safe?
Vamos ver, né?
An odd question. She's my queen. All dwarves are but players in her game. I don't question her will. This is relieving news on the most... It burdens my heart, truly. But I must say farewell now.
Mikhail returns to his boxes and sacks, though he no longer...
Is it done?
I certainly could use some good news amongst the bad. I am a man of my word. Here is the payment promised. You've done right.
Certo, mas antes dele fugir aqui... Pera aí que eu quero... Se eu falar que ela tá morta, ver se ele vem pra cima de mim, né?
An odd question. This is distressing you. His quill script. Do we have further business? Oh, yes. You've done...
Oh, look at that. A pure master.
Ah, yes.
How could my husband do such a thing?
Tears fill her eyes as she bites her lip.
This is the worst day.
She slumps in her seat. She nods sadly.
Bobby.
The woman cries
I help you to know and understand.
Eu acho que o próximo canto que eu vou... Acho que tem esse local aqui. Quer dizer, tem outro aqui também. Parei bem no meio do caminho. Aqui. Oh.
I like my men the way I like my cheese. Wet and...
Beleza, galera, vamos ficando por aqui com esse episódio. Se gostou, deixa o like, compartilha aí. Valeu!